Welcome back, guys. Things are growing like crazy. Can't wait to show you, but today specifically, we're going to talk about microclimates. What do I mean whenever I say microclimates? I'm talking about the fact that I live in zone 8A here in North Texas, and in 8A, you can grow XYZ things. You can look up your zone just by going into Google, say, what planting zone am I in ABC town? And it'll give you your zone. So we all have a zone, and you have recommendations for what to plant based on that zone. I have been able to plant things that are out of my zone by creating microclimates. And what I mean by a microclimate is, so I'm going to flip you around. My house is southeastern facing. So you can see over here, I've got bright sunshine. Come over here, I've got less sunshine. The contributing factor to this is this giant oak tree. So because this giant oak tree is here, it provides a shaded environment for all of this section here. Now, the overhang of my house does provide some shade there as well. So when you are planting your garden, it's really important to really study how the light hits your space. So for us, I can plant tomatoes and they're going to produce all summer long for the most part because they get this amazing afternoon shade. They love the warm weather, but once it gets over about 90, 95 degrees, they're going to start kind of fiddling out, and it's not super fun, and they get gangly and they get diseased. But because I've got this zone here, this microclimate, because of that big shade tree, I'm able to grow these here. So it provides a cooler climate. So typically of 8A, if I were having a southeastern facing garden, it would be full sun like you see over here. But because of those shaded areas, I get to kind of play around with some different plants. Now, you can see my nasturtiums are not loving the heat, but I am starting to get some flowers. So right here, you got this one little sad flower here. Something's pollinating it. And then if you come over here, we've got an orange flower. In the morning time, they look really, really good. Like, that's the thing with the heat of the day too. Once you start getting into like the 90s and the hundreds like we do here, and like we have been here, you can see we're starting to get a few flowers, but they're not looking great. So as the weather kind of starts cooling down a little bit, that will change. However, right next to it, we've got, look at these. These are the black-eyed peas, the Ozark peas that I was telling you guys about. Look at that. Like, most of them have made a vigorous comeback. So some of them haven't. I hit them with a little bit of fertilizer today. This is the section, this is the new garden, so we're just gonna kind of keep amending as we go. By next year, we'll top it off with some really good compost, and it'll be good to go. Raspberry heaven. We have already been pulling raspberries off of this. We've got little clusters that I've been finding in pockets. I still haven't trellised it, as you guys can see, so maybe that'll happen today. We'll see. My okra plant, I'm gonna have to actually come in and trim this back because you can kind of see it. There it is, that little red, that thing connected to the red stem. That's the okra plant. So that one's looking really good. I am gonna have to come trim it back so it's not competing with space in the garden. I trimmed the blueberry back. It's still looking a little sad, but this, guys, this is so exciting. I cannot wait. And let's see if I can get you a shot. But right there, do you see that? That's a future sunflower. And each one of these is starting to give us a little sunflower, and I can't wait. These are the ones that are going to be super duper tall. Like, looky here. Look at how much these have grown. Look at that. Isn't that great? That's crazy, right? So everything's looking really good. I don't have any peas yet on here, but man, didn't those explode. Isn't that crazy? I didn't do anything to those until today, and I come out every day and I still spray the aphids off. So that is one thing. I did come out and I found a hornworm on my goji berries, and it ate, you can see, if you see bare branches like this, it's pretty indicative that you have a hornworm. And I did. So I picked it off and got rid of it. Down here, you can see we've got some goji berries that are turning nice and red. That's awesome. Now then, strawberries, not sure what happened. I don't know. So I moved them out in the sun. And you're probably thinking, what is that thing coming out of the strawberry? I accidentally broke one of my tomato plants today. So I stuck it into the dirt. And since it's going to be tall, I figured I could grow it with strawberries, or if that strawberry is gonna die, then it's gonna give the tomatoes some nutrition. So we'll see. We'll check back on that next time. Over here, we've got the basil that I planted with the bulb. It's looking really, really good. You can see it's kind of facing towards the sun. I might have to pull that out to where it's gonna be in more full sun. The herbs are starting to make a little bit of a comeback. You can see the mint is shooting out a runner. I do have some little helpful insects coming in now, some spiders and such, so they are starting to look better. I'm gonna come in and trim a lot of this back and maybe hit it with some fertilizer. The sage is almost fully recovered. This mint down here is still looking a little sparse. The thyme, let's see if we can get in there. See, you can see all the new little leaves now really, really well. And then the lemon balm, I'm actually gonna come in and trim this back. I am gonna dry some of it out and make some tea leaves out of it and make some mixes. Hibiscus still doing their thing. I hit them with some fertilizer. They weren't getting as much water as I wanted, so I went ahead and I watered them too. You can see it's wet. I was testing the sprinklers because I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, but we got that figured out. The mint, it got eaten by something. You can see down here, I pulled a very big armyworm off of my what looks like very sad fennel, and we disposed of that one. I wish I had chickens. Then I could feed it to the chickens. But there's my Tabasco plant. It's still not doing anything. So right here, you can kind of see right there. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. That's where I broke it. That's the tomato plant that I broke. But you can see, look at how tall these things are getting. And they're starting to get lots and lots of tomatoes. Down here, we've got our banana pepper plant. I pulled 2 gigantic banana peppers. Look at this funky looking one. Let's see if we can get under the skirt. Look at that funky looking one. It's crazy, right? I need to pick that one. But it's still doing really well. It's still producing. It's still kind of stunted. I went ahead and I fertilized it again today. We've got leaves and flowers coming in on this bean plant. You can see something's kind of nibbling at the leaves, but that's okay. As long as it doesn't get the flowers. But we're going to get beans on that soon. Y'all, look at this crazy amount of tomatoes we've got here. You can see some peeking behind there. Got a nice big cluster there. A nice big cluster here. We've got some over there. We've got some here. This is my best producing one, so I will be saving the seeds from this one because, one, look how vigorous it is. This one didn't get dampened off at all. This one also is getting, like, it's probably 7.5 feet tall now. It's actually leaning over on its little sister plant over there. And then this one here, we've been doing the best that we can to rehab. We've got new flowers in. Look though, we've got some blushy fruits down there. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow after it rains, and after I turn the sprinklers on, and then let it get real hot, and then towards the end of the day I'm gonna come pick those so the sun has time to increase the flavors on that. So you can see here, this one's starting to get some disease, it's starting to look a little sick. So all I'm gonna do is come in and just pull off these sick ones because we don't need that. There we go. And you can see it's kind of, it just has not, but the top stuff looks really good. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I'm trimming off the dead or the yucky stuff whenever I come to it. Back there, we still have the serrano plant. It's doing all right. We've got one of our habaneros here. It's looking really good. We come over here. I forgot to show you guys this. We've got the first habanero. Isn't that cool? Excited about that. It's a West Indies habanero for anybody who didn't remember. Back here we've got the striped Roma tomato. Still no fruit on this one yet, but I hit it with some fertilizer. We'll see. I need to trim that little dead yucky leaf off. Over here we're getting blushy tomatoes. I'm so excited. This one's gonna be ready soon. This is the Liana. So I'm excited about that. Look how sick it looks though. I don't know. I fertilized it. I found a hornworm on this one too. You can see. Ugh, I found 2 big fat ones the other day. Actually, I found like 6, but those particular ones were on there. So this one's actually looking really good. This one recovered. It's got lots of stuff coming off the top here. I came through today and I pruned some of the sick leaves off. Not all of them. I like to wait for it to get a little taller and then I'll trim, and then get a little taller and I'll trim. But it's starting to get some fruit on it. I don't know if you can see them back there. Let's see if I can come around here. There we go. You can see those fruits. And I want to look at this Liana again. This raspberry Liana. It is just looking too good. Look at that, guys. So I'm gonna leave those on just a little bit longer, but we're gonna be picking those so soon. I noticed today too, we've got a ghost pepper. Super excited. It's gonna be amazing. That's the first one. This one has some fruit sets on it. Awesome. This one in the back, also fruit, looking good. The other pepper plants, I'm not seeing any fruit yet, but there are lots of flowers popping up, so that's good. I just pruned the basil, so you can see how it's starting to bush out. It is much bigger than it was last time. We've got tomato plant here. I just really fertilized this one. This one is the one that's been doing this. See how it's doing that? I don't know what that is. I need to look that up. But I just hit it with a multi-purpose fertilizer, and I'll update you on how it goes. It's getting big though. I mean, other than that, now then this one I am swapping out. I've got a pear tomato, a yellow pear tomato that I'm gonna swap out for that one. Or I'll plant something else there. My Phyllis Blue is finally ready to go into the ground, so I planted that. We've got Carolina Reaper, and then the Carolina Reaper over there. Forgot to show you guys that one. We've got a little bean back there. A little bean right here that's starting to get some little flowers and stuff on it. The jalapeno's kicking, man. Look at that thing. It's giving me good stuff too. Really yummy, yummy peppers. Look guys, we got beans. We have beans, how exciting. And then I was finally able to trellis this one up. We've got that squash trellised. I had powdery mildew on this guy here. So remember we've talked about this, the powdery mildew. What I did is I did 50% water, 50% milk, just whole milk. And they say the fattier the milk, the better. And I just got it in a spray bottle and sprayed the leaves, and they look so much better. So much better. I went ahead and I kind of trellised that one up a little bit more. We've got a bean plant back here now. The echinacea is doing really good. And then right back here, I just planted, these were a gift. These are Indian bitter melon. So I just planted those, fertilized them. Hopefully they'll trellis up this, and then we'll have some success and get some bitter melon. Bitter melon's one of those that's really, really good for digestion. They use it for diabetes too, to lower blood sugar. Hi, babe.
Hello.
Hey. And it's really healing for the gut. So I highly recommend everybody trying bitter melon at least once. It's not a flavor for everybody, but it's definitely good for you. So if you can get used to it, get used to it. So let's look over here and do a little lime tree and avocado tree update. Something is living in my plant. I don't know what it is. It's kind of gross. I just hit it with some more fertilizer. Gosh, guys, this thing is just, it's struggling hard. But I did see that there is a little bit of a lime coming in, which is, you know, it's hopeful. There it is, a little lime making its way. But I've got some spiders that have taken residence here, so I don't actually mind that right now. Let's get some of these. Hey, new growth, look at that. Look at those baby little leaves. Oh. Look at those little baby leaves. That's new growth. That means that there's still a hope. All right, avocado update. What? This thing is huge. Look at these three. And then we've got one the same size there. I've got one up in the tree. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's 7 over here, but I think I'm gonna, where'd it go? Yeah, 7 over there. But I think I'm gonna have to pick that one, something 8 at it. So we might have 6, guys. How crazy is that? 6 avocados from one last year. Pretty great. All right, now I'm gonna take you into the backyard and we're gonna go check progress on that. There's not a whole lot, but it is worth seeing. All right, we made it in the backyard. It is quite a bit brighter back here. The afternoon sun hits full force back here, but it's great for melons and any kind of hot temperature. And then I've got my trellis back here too. So let's take a look at the melons, let's take a look at the beans, and we can take a look at the basil. I've already trimmed the basil, the purple basil and the lime basil. I already trimmed those once, so they're doing awesome back here. So let's flip you around, let's take a look. So you can see here, for some reason this is a big growth spot. Like the beans are doing really good over here. It looks like I had some sort of like bug on there. I did kill a couple of worms over here, worms, caterpillars, whatever they were. So hopefully that'll stop. I went ahead and I trellised this one too. It's a bush bean, but man, did it get leggy. So I just kind of Velcroed it to that T-post there and went with it. There's that melon back there. Time will only tell what these are. Look at that one. That one's looking awesome. I had to even kind of push some of the leaves through to start training it back there. This one got eaten by some of the same bugs, it looks like, but that one's looking really good. all of my calendula on this side got eaten, but that's one of the other melons. And then back over here, we've got chamomile. There's the basil. Looks so good, right? And then we've got some of Mackenzie's plants, and then the other basil's back there. Been coming through. Oh, that nasturtium got burnt up. Dang, that was a variegated nasturtium too. It was really pretty. But the rest of them seem to be doing okay. Back here, man, it's just gotten so hot. And then we are babysitting my cousin's cactuses right now too. So we've kept them in here. Our yard guys come through, and they sometimes whack them. But that's our growth, guys. Isn't that awesome? I'm gonna be sticking some sweet potatoes in here, I think. I might put them back over there. That way I can maybe get the vine to go up and over. That's what I'm thinking. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's nice and sunny, like really sunny here now. So we've seen immense growth in the plants. I'm gonna come in now that these plants are getting taller and start doing some understory planting, and we'll try. At least I've done it a couple of times and they just haven't succeeded. I think maybe my seeds could have been old, but I'm gonna try maybe some sowing some beets in and some radishes and see how we can do those. I really love beet greens. I love beets in general. I love pickled beets. When you grow them in the summertime, they are a little bit more bitter, so those are pretty good for pickling. And they don't have so much of a dirt flavor because summer beets kind of taste like dirt a little bit. But whenever you get into the winter time, and there's something about how the cold, I think they said something like an antifreeze makes it sweeter, and it's so the plants don't die. I guess it keeps them from getting too cold. I know that's true for the greens, but I don't know if it's true for like the beets and the root crops. But I don't know. I'll look it up. Maybe we'll learn together. So I'll do some of that. I am planning on, hopefully, I bought some little pickling cucumbers, so I'm going to do some quick pickles of those. And let me know if you guys want to see that yet. I know that we were talking about kind of going from the beginning to the end and then processing and processing what we've got, and I'll show you how to put it all up. But if you guys are interested in seeing like how I save food that I've bought from the grocery store and I don't want it to go bad, I've got a dehydrator, I've got a freezer. There's a lot of things that you can do just with a freezer, and you can put back so much food. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you know when all the new stuff comes out. And if you liked this, hit the like button and share it with a friend. I appreciate you guys. Again, I hope you're having a great day. I know I am. And until next time, bye.